What's up, guys? Broke Investor here. Starting another YouTube video. Why the hell not, right? This one will probably be short and sweet. And it's really a video to talk about your other accounts, your other portfolio accounts, your other retirement accounts. Now, everyone who, is new to investing or just involved with investing, they probably tend to focus on their taxable brokerage, which holds their stocks, dividend stocks, whatever. And they, same with Roth IRAs, traditional IRAs, whatever. They're doing the investments themselves. They're on that maybe on a daily basis, and they know what's going on. However, most people also have a 401k, and possibly a 529 if you have children. But I don't really see, at least in the social media world, I don't see a lot of people talking about, their 401k funds, their Vanguard fund, whatever company they have their 401k with. There's not much talk about just 401ks and the funds available, nor is there talk about 529 plans and the funds available to them. So, and the reason I bring this up is myself, once I obviously got involved with investing, one of the first things I did is I went right to my 401k and I jotted down every single fund that's available in the 401k. And, I've been adding columns since, things like, market cap, earnings growth rate, dividend yield, 10-year performance, expense rate, things like that. And I did a side-by-side comparison to, all my funds, compare it against each other, because most 401k plans, they have limited funds to choose from, so you can't even choose individual stocks. So you have maybe, say, 10 to 20 funds available. So I jotted them down. I put all the, important information together, past performance, along with sectors, country diversification, things like that. And I do that once a year now, and I go through it and I reallocate accordingly. I don't necessarily reallocate the old investments. I don't necessarily, it's called rebalancing. I don't rebalance unless I see, a complete dud or whatever. I more so reallocate on future investments. So I chose, obviously, the year before an index fund based on criteria. So whatever I invested in that following year, that's going to stay there. However, things change, and then I reanalyze it. And if I change my allocation, that'll be on the future ones because of, again, past performance. And I'm trusting that company will do the same thing again. If not, I change it the following year, things like that. And why is this important? I mean, it's important because it's your retirement. I mean, aside from Social Security, your 401k is really your income when you retire. However you do it, however you take it, I do not know everyone's plan. I know typically the safe bet is the 4% rule. So it'd be 4% of your balance. And again, you're hoping you make 8% return year per year. So essentially you never run out of money, but it doesn't matter. Regardless of that, it's your main nest egg. This is your retirement. Why would you not review? I get that they're index funds and they're diversified. You should not just choose it once, set it and forget it. Because on top of that, you're getting more knowledgeable year over year. So your prior selection could have been based on criteria that you thought was good at the time. That's what I'm finding. So I'll add a new column each year, or I'll look at this, versus that the prior year, because obviously I'm learning more each time. So there's always a change every year. I make a change to my 401k, and hopefully for the better. And again, this is because I want my retirement account to be as much as possible, because I'm putting, whatever money I can afford from my paycheck into this account. And this is more money than I'm putting into my taxable and my Roth. So why would I not focus on this? I mean, the reason I only look at it once a year, again, because there's limited funds, it's index funds, things like that. But I could do it twice a year, realistically, but I would say at least once a year, just go through it and reallocate. Most of the funds, though, that it depends on the company too, I guess, but most of the funds should be okay. They're well diversified across many sectors, many countries, and many stocks. So, it all depends on what you want to see, how diversified you want to be. Or there's something called a target retirement fund. Most people select this. It's called target retirement and the date that you expect to retire. And it does essentially all the work. And these are pretty good funds, I'm not going to lie. They have maybe an expense percentage that's higher than some of the index funds. But if you don't want to be bothered, I mean, honestly, it's not a bad choice to just say, okay, target retirement fund. Because obviously it knows your age, it knows when you're going to retire, and it'll allocate accordingly. Obviously, the closer you get to retirement, the more in bonds it would start to invest versus stocks, because bonds are obviously less risky, and they want you to feel, have more solid, income coming in rather than, high risk, high reward. But so yeah, I do 10% into the target retirement fund, just because. Why the hell not? I mean, they're doing it. The expense is not too high, but the rest of the 90%, I choose myself based on criteria, because I like to give the target retirement fund a chance too, because it's done pretty well. But again, that's for your 401ks. I mentioned 529s earlier. If you have a child and you opened a 529 account, there's an option to do self-directed versus not self-directed. What do they call it? I guess they called it Select Series. I don't freaking know. But so basically, you can choose to invest in what you want, or you can have the assistance of a financial advisor, which basically you still have to choose them yourself, honestly, at least in my example. So, and I noticed I'm doing the work anyway, and I'm paying a percentage, because I had set the account up when I knew nothing. So I had eventually switched it over to self-direct, and I don't pay now a financial advisor to be available, because I don't need him to be available. He has the same data as me, and he's not really going to spend the time on my account unless I call him. So what the hell's the point? I'll just look it up myself. All the data's available. But anyway, that's not the point of this. Let's assume you already have a direct account set up for yourself. You'll be able to choose whatever funds, from the list available. So same thing as your 401k. This is your child's college savings. And college is unaffordable today. It'll be unaffordable when they go to school. That's for sure. But so you want to get best return for your money. And in order to do that, you want to reallocate year over year based on performance. So why not look at this every single year? And similar to the target retirement fund, yes, they have an age-based fund. What do they call it here? They call it the just age-based portfolio. And so if you're lazy, you could choose that, which it performs decent. But there's other funds that perform better. So look at it every single year. They, what do you have, 18 years? Let's assume you open it when they're born. You have 18 years only. So you should look at this at a minimum of, once a year, because how are you going to afford? Well, they're not going to afford to pay for college. Are you going to be able to afford it? And you can if you put in a decent amount and get a decent return. So, yeah. So that's it. I mean, that's, like I said, short video. Let's just always keep in mind our 401ks and 529 plans are just as, if not more important than our taxable brokerage and Roth IRAs that we play around with. Not as fun. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's not fun. Looking at individual stocks, that's fun for me. Looking at index funds, age-based funds, balanced portfolio funds, not that fun. But I got to do it. It's my money. It's my son's college money. I mean, let's assume he goes to college, but I gotta assume he wants to learn more, make something of himself. But who the hell knows? That's the other thing. But anyway, that's all I got for today. Again, just a suggestion from a broke ass investor, not a financial advisor. Do your best. All the information is available online. Don't pay someone for this crap. I mean, but it's up to you. Some people are lazy. Some people don't have the time. But do what you got to do. Time to go to work. Later.